We're live. Hello.
Hey.
Hey. Hello. Hello, everybody, everywhere.
How's it hanging?
How's it hanging? Low or been up? Oh, we got Gutless Scummer returning this time again. And we have someone named Nick Time. Hello, Nick Time.
Hello.
And Harmonica Man will be popping in shortly. He's having some internet issues. Yeah. So, how is everybody?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
I just woke up. Did anybody else just wake up? Sleepy nut?
Maybe sleep.
Sleepy nut?
No, he's not. He's still sleepy. He's not.
I'm about to go to sleep.
Okay.
I am? What?
No.
Nick of time. Nick.
Sleepy nut sounds punch drunk.
Yeah.
You got. Is that Nicky?
That's...
Nick of time? No, it's Nick. Fuck, you're missing your middle name, man.
In? Of? Oh.
Of.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, that.
He's
Oh.
floating. I think he's floating.
Ooh. Who's floating?
Amiga's floating.
Not him. There. There we go.
Amiga. I'm doing great today. I went to bed early. I got up at like 6 a.m.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, that
That's
was early.
I know.
Well,
I usually get up around 9.
I was about getting ready to go to work this morning and then just checked my emails, and I got one from the British government telling me I need to stay at home for the next 4 weeks. So it's like, let me know of that. They knew they were going to have a lockdown. They could have notified us a few days earlier.
Yeah. They could have.
For sure.
Okay. Should we
Oh no, not again.
Got locked down. You got locked out, locked down.
got locked out. Oh my, this is going well today. Well,
Locked and loaded.
I don't know what happened there.
I thought you got locked out.
Yeah, I just got kicked. It's weird.
Locked down and
Well, there is fireworks going on outside me now, but it's for November the 5th. This is very quiet because we can't have all the big displays because of the COVID. So
oh yeah.
it's November the 5th normally in UK. It's like a constant artillery barrage for about 4 or 5 hours. So just boom, 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 boom. But there's actually gaps in between the fireworks this year.
What's the holiday?
November the 5th, Guy Fawkes night.
Oh. That makes sense then.
Mm.
Explosions, yeah.
Harmonica Man.
Yeah.
Where's the harmonica?
It's out in the car. I'm inside the library now, so I can't make too much noise.
Very quiet. It's the only place I can get it.
Gotta do some ASMR.
ASMR stream.
Shut up. Shut it up. Shutty.
Quiet.
A little bit softer now. A little bit softer now. A little bit softer now.
A little bit softer now. A little bit louder now. Oh yeah.
Should we do the wheel? I got all confused now.
Do the do.
No. We have to find out
What?
Something.
Let's find that out then.
Like, who needs to go to
We have
sleep?
to do that.
What?
We have to do the old
something about our guests.
I was just saying, though, as he's in a library, we got to do the old classic thing here, you know.
Ooh.
Well, it only comes through my headphones.
Hello. What? I'm in a library. I'm in a library. Yeah, bit dull, right? Yeah.
That was good.
You can. I'll just say, any of your British viewers will get that reference. So.
So Spooky and Dave.
Spooky Dave.
Spooky Dave. Woo. What do you want to know about our guests, Amiga?
Yeah, ask away.
Whose library is it?
It's my village library.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
I used to work in the library.
Yeah. Ooh.
I had two jobs in my local library, and I quit both of them.
Yeah.
That's nothing. I just got kicked out of my one-man band.
How did you manage that?
Yeah.
According to my
sadly,
psychiatrist, I don't know. Something's going on with my other personalities.
Sadly,
Wait,
I mean,
what?
I don't know if you.
I'm sorry. I'm on drugs. What did you just say? You just.
Hi, I'm on drugs.
Jeff was
You
talking.
get kicked
Amiga!
out. A one-man band?
Yes.
He's
I was
right
gonna
on
say
it.
I was going to say, did you hear that sadly there's a fire in the Donald J. Trump Presidential Library today?
Was that?
Sadly, yeah.
It's not on fire.
Well, no. Sadly, both books were destroyed, and he hasn't even finished colouring in the second one yet.
Oh no!
Well, two?
That is too accurate.
That's
The whole two of them?
that's some disrespect there, buddy.
What did you say?
Accurate, but disrespectful.
That's okay. It deserves every bit of it.
Spooky is Spooky is asking who is Doorknob Head.
Who's Doorknob Head?
I thought Doorknob Head was supposed to be on today. Where's Doorknob Head?
Yeah.
Who's Doorknob Head? He's an enigma wrapped in bacon.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm preoccupied. My phone is not acting right, and I got all these calls, and I can't access them. So hey, okay, it's okay today.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Harmonica Man, how long have you been a musician?
Since I was about 5.
5.
Whoa, that's a long time.
Musical parent? Musical parents?
No, actually, they got rid of my harmonicas because I was making too much noise. But some of my other family members for a few generations were musicians, and I gave it up for quite a while until I was in my late teens, early 20s, and then picked it up again because I couldn't get the guitar like all my friends were getting. So I'm like, hey, I can play harmonica, and then many other things happened, and down the road, and voila, I'm a musician. Been all over the United States playing, and not too proud of some of the one-night stands and all that stuff. Blues musician story stuff. But, yeah, I've been.
Woke up, rolled over, and saw something, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. I got it.
Are you on the East Coast, Harmonica Man?
Yeah, I'm in northern Lower Michigan.
Oh, okay. Because I knew of a harmonica player. He was from the East Coast in New York. His last name was Dicey. I don't remember his first name. Might be Bill Dicey, but I can't remember. He was a harmonica player, but
He was a bit dicey.
he was kind of dicey, yeah.
Oh no!
But
Stop laughing!
You
I'm
know
gonna
David
lose all
Melbourne?
of my makeup.
Hey,
David,
do you know my nephew
from
Eddie?
Michigan.
He plays harmonica too.
Maybe. I don't know. I've taught a lot of people.
not the Eddie.
Well, we call him Little Eddie.
Because he's so big.
Yeah.
Eddie's father, Eddie.
Yes, Eddie has a father, Eddie.
Eddie.
We
I
call
gotta
him
say,
Big Ed, but Big Ed
little.
is smaller than Little Ed now.
Big Ed is smaller than Little Ed.
Yeah,
So what do you call him now?
Big Ed.
Intermediate.
Still Big Ed.
Intermediate Ed.
That's kind of one of my favorite things, getting a little Ed.
yeah.
Little
I
Ed.
gotta say,
Jokes.
I mean,
The jokes are right.
harmonica as an instrument has got a very good. The harmonica as an instrument has got a very good range, actually. About 20 yards if you've got a good throwing arm.
20 yards.
More jokes. Dad. We need the dad.
I nearly
What's he got?
drowned.
What is that?
I had a Happy Meal.
Man.
Somebody bought me a Happy Meal, and I ate it, and they gave me a wasp.
Oh,
Marvel.
No, that's
interesting.
Oh, okay.
that's
Yeah,
Ant-Man.
giant
Isn't that
head-on threw me
Ant-Man?
off.
I think it's the wasp because look at the wings.
But the wasp?
How are you making the wings move?
The
Push the
wasp
back
got
of the head, the button on the back of the head, of course.
Oh,
Flying.
Look,
Flying.
it's the magic button. Watch this. Watch.
Ah.
Oh.
Woo!
What?
It's like an X-wing. Woo!
boy, when I was a kid, that toy wouldn't last 2 seconds. I'd rip that thing apart to find out how those wings worked.
And our new guest is probably going, "What the hell did I walk into?"
Hey, it could be worse.
Oh my goodness. Can we do the wheel now, amigo, or do you want to know anything else?
By the way,
like,
Angie says that doorknob head looks amazing.
All right.
Who?
Can barely see him.
Where's Doorknob Head? I don't see
By
Doorknob
design.
Head.
Yeah, it's actually Nick time. It's
It's
just,
Nick time.
I'll leave that up to the guests.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
who is the mysterious doorknob head?
All right. Well,
We're cutting the hair. Is that what we're doing?
Oh, you have to say spin.
Oh, we spinning stuff. Is there a show going on?
Apparently so. Where's the wheel? I don't see it.
Oh no.
Oh, hello. We've got some.
can you share the wheel?
I think we've had a.
Nope.
There it is.
There's no room.
It's there. It's there.
Oh, there's a wheel. Wheel. Is this wheel?
I see it.
Wheel.
Well,
Wheel.
is the live stream live or what? What's
Yeah,
going on?
yeah.
Wheel.
It's on screen. It just says the standby stream will
Says
continue.
we're
shortly.
having technical
Live stream
difficulties. Please
live
stand
or
by.
what?
Because
Going
what the
on?
fuck did I do here?
It's on the standby screen.
It's on the standby screen. I'm scared.
I know, I'm just, I have some issues here. Just a moment.
Linda is having some issues.
Issues. Aha! There we go. Ready, Eddie, here we go. Yes, the wheel. Ta-da!
There we go.
Well, should we? Who wants to call it then?
It
The new
call Fred.
guy.
Call Fred.
The new guy.
Say the word.
Spin.
magazine.
Topic is magazine.
Okay.
Tis the season for magazines. Lock and load, people.
Magazine.
I was saying this conversation could go in a whole bunch of different directions. So.
So now, what do you talk about magazines? Like your first naughty magazine?
Whatever. Yeah.
Talk about the worst magazine you've ever read.
Oh.
Talk about the best one. Talk about the first one. Talk about the one you read yesterday.
Let's have a look. Let's go through the magazines I subscribe to: Playboy, Hustler, Penthouse. Yeah, I'm trying to think. But...
Does Bazooka Joe count as a magazine?
I guess if you compile them all together.
Gum wrapper.
That's compiled. He doesn't have to throw a clock in order to see time fly.
I used to read Fine Scale Modeling magazine religiously.
You guys notice it says MAGA in it?
MAGA.
Yeah.
But
we're not supposed to be political.
Oh, I just said it said MAGA in it. I didn't say anything about it. I didn't say what it meant. Goodness gracious.
I used to subscribe to a bunch of outdoor magazines.
We're not supposed to be poo?
Poo.
Poo.
Winnie the?
Yeah.
Poo. Integrity.
Who's your favorite character?
In a magazine.
Yeah.
Archie. My first magazines I remember was, I guess those were comic books though.
Isn't that
Archie comics? Yeah.
Is the comic?
For some reason I selected
magazine?
those instead of Marvel.
I don't know if they qualify as comic books as magazines. Really. I mean, I don't know. It's.
What about Mad?
I don't.
Mad magazine.
Oh, that was a great one.
Alfred E. Newman.
Probably not.
How about that magazine? That magazine named George. What was that all about?
Did you have to wash it a ton?
I don't know, but they sell their pants at Walmart.
Yeah, they do.
George pants?
Yeah, they're not bad. Pretty comfy for cheap crap.
George pants.
Yeah.
Oh, Mad Magazine. Someone said Mad Magazine. That was a good one.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, you did? Oh, that was, I love that. That's probably one of my favorites.
With Alfred E. Newman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You said Alfred E. Newman. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
And then it had the, that where you fold the page. It was like you fold the
picture.
Yeah, and it makes another like nasty picture of a naked lady or something.
And it was kind of cool because it said some words and you fold it, it said different words and it would still fit the picture. It was great.
Yeah. That was a good magazine.
Look who's here.
Who's here?
Julie Lavoie.
Julie Lavoie.
Julie. Long time no see, Julie.
Yay.
Hey, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Lavoie.
Says the drunk nuts. Oh, no.
Truck nuts.
Doped.
Truck nuts.
Doped
You got a truck?
nuts.
You making nuts?
Right.
Are we done with magazine?
We're pretty much done with magazine, unless you got something else to say.
Not really. I mean,
Does Linda have a magazine?
No.
There's no magazines in Viking land?
Yes, there is.
Viking Monthly?
What about Tattoo magazine?
Oh, yeah.
I used to read that just for the artwork.
There's one called Ink too. Was there one called Ink?
Yeah, there's one called Ink. My cousin is a photographer for Tattoo magazine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why do I know that?
I mean,
where have I been hanging out?
You know his cousin?
I don't think so.
I've never really read many magazines regularly, no, at all. It's not something I occasionally when I had a motorcycle. I used to read Backstreet Heroes occasionally, which is a motorcycle magazine. But but no, it's just not something I never really read magazines.
Well,
Well,
I
it was-
used to read Hot Rod magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh no, tell a lie. I used to read some Games Master magazine when I was a kid, like, and was really into video games. So no, tell a lie. I did used to read that back in the day.
No, one I really liked when I was young is Popular Mechanics and Popular Science.
Oh yeah.
Those two.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They
that
always
was
had
great.
something really interesting to learn, and then you can write in and they'd debunk your hypothesis or you debunk theirs, one of the two, and it was kind of fun.
Farmer's Almanac. Anyone? Anyone?
Farmer's Almanac. That's a good one.
That's an almanac.
Yeah. Almanac and
It's,
Zine.
How about White Dwarf? Anybody ever hear of the magazine White Dwarf?
No.
Any relation to Red Dwarf?
Sounds kinky.
I was gonna say Red
Uh,
Dwarf I'm aware of, but
I think it was either Red Dwarf or White Dwarf. I can't remember. It was a gaming magazine for D&D mainly.
Oh yeah. Oh, and there was Dragon magazine too.
And
was a great-
Dragon.
That was a great magazine.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dragon.
I like that
yeah.
one. Yeah.
There's Games Workshop, I think. Games
that's
Workshop.
more Games Works. That's more like Warhammer, and isn't it? Those sort of games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's-
Yeah.
See, I used to do a little bit of war gaming, but more historical stuff. I was never into fantasy stuff. But
Yeah. But it was all about magazines before the internet. That was where it was like that was like the thing to read magazines. Remember Maxim?
absolutely.
Maxim magazine for men?
Big, super thick computer magazine. Like, there's a few of them.
Computer shopper.
I will say that in the UK we got a very it's been a very popular like TV panel quiz show that's been going for about 30 years now, called Have I Got News for You, which is sort of a like topical satire quiz thing, but that they tend to have this thing where they have articles from like the most obscure, like in one round they have like a missing words round, like for headlines you got to fill in the blanks, but one of the things they tend to do is get the most obscure, weird, ridiculous kind of magazines they could find and take articles out of that, be like Pig World or something like that, or some just ridiculous, just it's and you look about some of these, you'd think they were making some of these up, but we actually look for one or two of them. These magazines, a lot of these magazines actually exist, or at least used to. Yeah. Like everything, the internet's killed a lot of print.
Wonder how many have died. Magazine.
Well, in the chat, Doc Fearsome says that he knows a guy who blows his nose with magazines.
Oh, his nose.
That's what it
Yeah, I
says.
haven't
Nose, right?
subscribed to StreamYard
My mind
yet,
didn't go to
so I'm
nose
not
right
seeing
away.
the chat at all.
But especially with like the gaming magazines in the 80s and 90s throughout the UK. I mean, I'm sure it was the same in the US as well. That you would have magazines that were specific to certain machines or whatever. Like like there was several magazines for like Sinclair computers in the UK, and there was one different one for like just for the Amiga or
What?
and of course once those machines all obviously sort of more and more became more and more were out of date, those magazine stops as well. So
Yeah, but that's where we got most of our information. Before the internet, it was always
Yeah.
magazines. We would go directly to magazines. Basically, it's
Well,
like it was like a quick way to get information.
It was also like with the
and discs. And discs.
Yeah.
You could get
Discs
discs
and
with
tapes, yeah.
magazines, with games and utilities and all
I'm
sorts
pretty-
of stuff and things.
all the Sinclair Spectrum magazines got into a blooming competition with all like the budget game titles they give away free with the games in the 80s. You know, they would put it like that. You know, it became a thing. What look, they would they would give away budget title games or whatever, and try and outdo each other in that to outsell each other, because there was several different Sinclair Spectrum magazines in the UK, and they were all a big competition with one another.
Really?
Sinclair
Wow.
Spectrum.
And some of the computer magazines used to come with CDs in the back of them too.
Amiga.
Does Miga do it?
Yeah, free software, right?
Yeah.
A lot of that software, it was like redundant. They give you a program that the computer already has a functionality for, but they give you a program to add the functionality a second time. So you have normal default functionality plus software that does the same thing, and so now you have
Only better.
only better, yeah. But yeah.
I wonder, are we missing anything with like the amount of magazines that are not there anymore? Or, you know, I mean, it's all there on the internet. I don't know if are we really missing anything or not. I don't know. Maybe we are. But if you had a specialist interest, you know, they were good.
Yeah.
The only thing good about magazines is that they don't run out of battery power.
Well, that, and you can use Silly Putty to get the pictures off of there too. You can't do that on your computer screen.
No, that was only on newsprint.
Yeah, newsprint and comics.
And comics too, yeah.
I remember that's what I got for my 4th birthday. I got a Spider-Man magazine and some Silly Putty, and they slid it down a plastic tube because I was a bubble boy at the time, and that was my 4th birthday. So that was pretty fun, getting old Spider-Man to do all kinds of dumb shit.
I mean, I got more comic books when I was a kid, but it wasn't until later that we started getting a lot of the Marvel and DC. Like most of the ones on the newsstands here were like the British comics, like the things, you know, like the Victor and the Roy of the Rovers, or I mean, the 2000 AD was a great one. It still is, but
well, a lot of the magazines have gone to the internet, you know.
Yeah.
Like the modeling magazine I mentioned, it's called Fine Scale Modeling. It's now a website, so it's the same thing as the magazine, but now it's a website. So it's not the same though. Anyway,
Spooky saying he used to type in games printed in Spectrum magazines. They always ran first time.
Superstar Spooky.
Should we do another spin then? Because I think we kind of got towards it.
B.
Letter.
D.
Why?
Why would it? Why does
W.
Why does it have to land on this when you got the postman in the room here?
Q.
Okay.
Q.
T.
2 T's.
Ooh, 2 T's.
When's the last time anybody's actually received a handwritten letter? Anybody?
I have.
Military?
I haven't received a handwritten letter in ages.
Not long ago.
I wrote one to Lavender Lady while I mailed her one of my books, and it had the calligraphy, you know, fountain pen, and I wrapped it up all real nice, put a wax stamp on it and all that shit, just so it's a good show, just for the book that I sent her. And she really enjoyed it, made her day. I felt bad because she's going through a rough time.
Okay, off there. Did we talk about this? You're an author?
Yes, I am. I'm an author, musician, obviously. I was in a movie last year and used to do some public speaking.
What was the movie?
Pirates of the North Coast. It should be out on Netflix in December.
Oh,
Right, we've got to
I was
watch
the
out
bad
for
guy.
that.
I got to play the EPA agent that was trying to shut down the big old ship, and all these young punks are trying to keep it going so the town can, have some employment. And I kicked the shit out of a 25-year-old and threw him off the boat and laughed my ass off. And then I got to play harmonica at the end and sing and stuff. So it was pretty good. Romantic comedy.
interesting.
That's a funny kind of romance.
So you have a card, an Actors Guild card, or
No. That was the only one. They told me, oh, you're an actor now, and it's like, did you not see what just happened?
Yeah. What do they call that? A SAG card? Is that what it's called?
I'm not sure.
Screen
I'll have
Actors
to ask my
Guild.
buddy. I have a friend who is my Twitter manager, and he isn't anymore, but he's a movie maker.
That's
And
stage. It's short for Stage Actors Guild, I think. SAG, right?
I think it's Screen Actors
Yeah,
Guild. I
something.
thought
Green Actors Guild, right?
Yeah, ask Amiga
Yeah,
Nuts. I
it's
think he has a saggy card.
it's effectively their union, basically. Isn't
Right.
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Union for actors.
Yeah, they say you're not a real one unless you're in there.
Mm.
So I never considered myself. I was just playing a silly part because it was fun. They had a lot of food, moonshine, and I got to be an asshole. So I'm like, I'm there. They actually called me up. The producer said, "Yeah, we saw your video. You're just the asshole we need." And I'm like, "All right, I'll be there in the morning."
I think right. It's generally though, yeah, right. People don't tend to write letters to people anymore. I mean, certainly not. It's rare to get like a handwritten letter. Like it's junk mail though. That's booming. So, which I'm actually got to be thankful for. I wouldn't have a job without it.
For junk mail?
Yeah.
But that's a large percentage of the mail that everyone receives. So
Yeah. But it's sort of a cheap way of advertising for businesses, though. I mean, it's like, for every like thousands or so they send out, they only need to get like one return or something for it to be profitable. So it's a very cheap way of advertising for companies.
Oh, sure, yeah, of course.
Well, it depends on the product too.
Mm.
A lot of times they're just a local store flyer or something.
Yeah. Like that, yeah. I would have to land on letters though, seeing as you got a postman in the room here. So it had to happen.
Well, I try and make the list. I go through the alphabet, A through Z, naturally. And I just try and get a topic for each letter of the alphabet, like R and Q and X and Z. Very hard to find topics for those letters, but I figured why not put letter on? Forget that.
Why not?
Yeah, I didn't know you were a postman.
Yeah. Yep.
How long you been doing that?
20 years this year, actually. In September, it was just gone September. I've been there 20 years.
Here we call them pole dancers.
Pole dancers. My brother-in-law is a postman here in Arizona.
Mm.
For the county?
Yeah. Maricopa County.
Spin.
Yes, I'm a spin.
Spinning. Trains.
Oh, don't do
Planes and
trains.
automobiles. What?
Trains.
Trains can be
Oh,
interesting sometimes, but
Never been in one.
no.
It's been a while.
I mean, the sexual kind.
A train. This is the TMI Show.
What would I expect from a musician? Oh God! All right, it's time for bed for me.
Oh, nuts.
Amiga.
I just had a head snap.
What the heck's that?
Which one? Which head?
Okay.
You know what that is.
I
You mean where
do.
you're cracking your neck or something?
Good muscle in the back of your neck.
When you kind of like doze off, and then you go.
Oh, like a little bird.
It's like
And
you like
your
that.
head
You like that,
snaps
and then you
back.
go. "Whoop."
There you go.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Uh-oh.
So what I want to know is how many other people here have hoboed on a train?
I've hoboed.
Was that just jumping on for free?
Yes.
I've done it a few times if I hadn't had to go too far on a train. Yeah, most of it's done that, but British stations, it's getting a little harder to do that now because a lot of them have got the old like ticket barrier thing in and out of the stations now. Although you can still get away with it at a lot of the small train stations in the UK. So, but I was fascinated with trains when I was really young. Absolutely fascinated with them. But
Yeah, they're awesome a lot of times.
yeah, but I'm quite lucky in the county I live in that there's still like an old it's a small railway, but it's still like an old steam railway that operates in the county called the Watercress Line. So it's more of a tour. Although it's technically it's a small branch train line, but it seems to be more of a tourist attraction than an actual public transport in a way. So because they try to go really old school with the trains, and it's all rather all rather sort of nice waiter service and stuff like that. But
Do they make like regular stops with the train?
it's
or-
it's only a small. Yeah, I mean, this is only a small railway line. This one, it's only
Oh,
it's only a small line in one county in England, but it's more of a tourist attraction for and sort of a throwback to the age of steam, because most trains here obviously are electric now. Even sort of diesel's a bit of a thing of the past in the UK.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a lot of people enjoy that trains, the diesel stuff and the steam engines.
well, I was very fascinated with especially the steam engines in the sort of 30s or whatever of the 19th, like the Mallards and obviously the Flying Scotsman, which is the most famous train in the world. Let's face it, Yeah.
Yeah, B said that she got really high with an old biker couple on a train ride from Florida to Virginia. I guess that is.
That must be a fair old train journey. That.
And these wonderful adventures is why I like to be.
Mm.
It
Sure.
reflects a lot of the silly stuff that I've been doing in my life too. Obviously, I've hoboed all over the place and on the trains, but just basically on the East Coast of America. So,
Well, I'm from New York, so I've been on there. I've been on the subway all over the place in New York City. So
I will say if there's one, as you mentioned, subways. If there's one train train service I do not enjoy travelling on is the London Underground. I hate travelling on that.
Well, in New York, it's noisy, dirty, and uncomfortable all the time, and it's no fun. It's no fun.
I would say the only experience that was worse than the London Underground would be the Paris Metro, which is their subway service. Which, but the thing with the trouble with the Paris Metro is you always feel like you're on guard there because it's like pickpocketing is such a big thing on the Paris Metro. It's you just feel on your guard there the whole time, so you can't. You couldn't relax even if you wanted to,
Yeah, that's a big problem. Yeah. In New York, they actually have this. I don't know if you're aware of this, but they have this at just about every entrance and exit into the subway. They have these receptacles. It has a hole, and it says. And it has an arrow that points to the hole, but it doesn't tell you what it is. But what that is where you spit gum. You spit gum into the little hole instead of spitting it anywhere else in the subway.
Spit on the hole. Okay.
You spit your gum into the hole, and it goes into this receptacle.
That sounds glorious.
Did you ever see that? Has anyone ever heard of that?
Nope, that's a new one to me. Fancy.
It's a thing, man. They
Fancy
don't in New York City. They don't want you spitting your gum out all over the place in the subway. So they have receptacles. They have receptacles with little holes that you can spit your gum in.
Kind
it's
like
really weird.
Spittoons in the old saloons, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I do enjoy I do enjoy with the exception of London Underground, I pretty much enjoy train journeys. So
now I've never had a luxury train ride or anything like that, but my friend Jill Reed, she ran for president in 2012, and she was telling me all about going around the country and campaigning and things like that. So I imagine it's pretty fun, you can handle it.
I'm going to say the most what surprised me, I suppose, with the most sort of upmarket train I've ever been on. And it surprised me because it was just supposed to be a regular ticket, but it was 2 years ago when I was in Peru actually, and I was on took the train journey from Machu Picchu back to Cuzco. And it's just because we'd been at Machu Picchu we had to we walked the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu, and we had to get the train back to Cuzco. So we just assumed we're going to be all huddled up on this train kind of thing. And we get in there, it was all and it was just on regular tickets. It was all tables there and waiter service and everything. And we're like, what? Wow, this is this is nicer than our railways.
Surprised, huh? I went on
I could go on a big rant about our railways because the worst thing they ever did to me was at one time, going back about 30 years ago, the railways were all state owned, and the worst thing they ever did was sell it off to the private sector. To me personally, but I could go on a long rant about that, but I won't.
I went on a vacation when I was a kid. My aunt took us kids to an Amish train kind of hotel, where the hotel was actually a train, and you just go. It doesn't move. It just sits in one place, but it's all like this red. Every kind of car was a caboose. So it was, and they were painted red. It was called something like the Red Caboose or something like that. And we just slept in it, and it was I really enjoyed it as a kid. It was like being on sleeping on a train, but not sleeping on a train. It was kind of weird. Just one of those things. Yeah.
I was to say, I mean, one thing I think that's kind of got sad is that in the UK is that, like, I went to Scotland 3 years ago, and I was looking at either flying from where I live up to Edinburgh, because I'm right on the south coast of England, or getting the train, and it turned out that it was cost me £5 more to book a flight, and so I can be there in 1 hour, or spend 8 or 9 hours sat on the train. And it's kind of like really the trains should be a cheap, easy alternative to stuff. It shouldn't cost you just like £5 more to get to actually get a flight ticket somewhere.
So you think they're charging more on purpose?
That's one thing that look. That's okay. And I said I promised that I'm not going to go on a big rant about the privatisation of British Railways, but that's the one thing with them. They have hyped up the prices so much over the last 20 years or so. It's to the point where it's quite extortionate at times. It really is. What some of the fees that are charged on railways, and it's a shame. And I'll just finish off on this because I don't. But the big thing that they told, like, to sell the public on privatising our railways and taking it out of state ownership, is they said that the British taxpayer won't have to prop up the railways anymore. And then you start looking into it. More taxpayers' money has been given to these private firms to run these railways than we were paying the old British rail system back in the days. It's quite sad and quite disgusting what's been done to our railways. So anyway, I'll stop on that topic because I could go on a massive rant about that.
Okay.
Hey, what about Linda? We haven't heard about the trains yet. What do you think?
Ever since I got my license, I haven't been on a train.
Okay, fair enough.
So you used to take the train a lot, Linda?
And mostly buses, actually.
Buses. Oh.
And with my social anxiety, that's not quite fun all the time.
I could imagine, yeah.
I was at the bridge over on the River Kwai, but I'm guessing there's like 20 of them, and they're all tourist traps.
Really?
And they're little itty bitty trains, cute little trains.
Bridge on the River Quarry.
Kwai, yeah.
Kwai?
Curry, Kwai.
Kwai. I don't know.
So that'd be the Tamakan Bridge, I think that's called, isn't it? Yeah, that's I think the actual little tributary is called the Kwai, but in the old film, it's called the Bridge on the River Kwai.
Yeah,
Kwai. Yeah. That was a good movie.
they still have a lot of British people buried there at that spot.
But that bridge is still standing?
Well,
or is it just?
Yeah, it might be just a bridge that happened to be there that got rebuilt. You could walk on it. It was old, but who knows? It don't look like it was.
It was bombed during the Second World War by airplanes, contrary to what they depict in the film, where it's like they blow it up with dynamite. It's a good movie. It's a good old movie, but it's also a little bit the real story of it is it's a lot sadder, I think, than that film depicts, because it's well known, obviously, the way the Japanese treated prisoners of war, and I think, I mean, Alec Guinness is a great actor, but I think the way they wrote the Colonel in that was very unfair to the real guy it was based on. It was he did cooperate with the Japanese, but it was it was in a way of trying to he was really trying to look after his own men and limit the kind of abuses that they were under, and the commanding officer regularly got beaten by Japanese guards himself for like defending his own men when they were being abused. So so I think so I think the depiction of him in the film by that Alec Guinness character was a little unfair on the real man.
I can see how that would not be fair. I can understand that. Yeah. Well, that's what they do in Hollywood with the movies and all. So they got to make things dramatic.
Professional bullshit artists.
Yeah, that too. All right, say the word.
Spin. Spin this. Sorry, Bobby.
Fire.
Fire. Ooh, fire.
Well, I just said normally there'd be a lot of bonfires being lit tonight in the UK, so not so many this year.
What about all those fires here in the U.S.? I mean, you had fires in Colorado, fires all over the place.
Well, let's think about this. In the early part of this year, 2020, we really were thinking the absolute worst thing in the world going on was all the fires the bushfires in Australia.
Oh, that was terrible.
It was terrible, but compared to we really thought 2020 couldn't get any worse. Oh boy, were we wrong?
Well, Mama Atheist has videos out there about the increase of forest fires due to climate change. So she did a pretty good scientific study of it and display on her channel, I suppose. There's a few things missing, but it's just a specific topic of fire. So
yeah,
I thought it had to do with
her videos are great. So
doesn't it have something to do with the gay people? All the fires.
Gay frogs, isn't it? According to Alex Jones.
Gay frogs? Is that what it?
Yeah, according to Alex Jones. Yeah.
He will eat your ass.
We're burning because of homosexuals. Is that what it is? There's fire because of homosexuals.
Put some ointment on it.
Yeah. If it's burning, then you probably should go see a doctor.
Yeah, I was in Oregon, and our where we were at, the air quality was rated the worst in the world for a while. We've had forest fires before where it's kind of a nice smell in the air, but this was just like hurt your throat and was kind of caustic. It's pretty bad.
Wow.
Well, seeing as one of the most important developments in the entire history of mankind was our ability was when we learned to use fire. If they're going to blame that on gay people, I was gay. I'd take that. I'd say, hey, yeah, it's a compliment. You wouldn't be able to cook if it wasn't for us.
Yeah, but that was one of those evangelists said that all the fires were God was burning everything because of gay people or something.
Because they're stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Not just that, but hurricanes in New Orleans, that it's because of gay people, and yet it wasn't the gay regions of the city that was actually flooded. It was the church side of things. So
That
backfired.
that sounds like this basically the sort of thing. Every time there's a natural disaster in the world somewhere, it's generally Pat Robertson that comes on and blames that on gay people. It just sounds, it's like Pat Robertson sort of shtick, isn't it? You know.
Oh yeah, they appeal to supernatural thinking idiots who
Yeah.
are going to vote for whatever they want, and all they got to do is yell out their God's name. And sure enough, let's start rabble rousing. Look at what our enemies
And this
are
is
doing to us.
this is another reason why 2020 is so bad. You know, we just lost Sean Connery, yet that fucker Pat Robertson's still breathing.
Yeah.
You know.
How's that fair? That's not fair, man.
Yeah.
Hi, dog.
Hello, hello, hello.
Doc?
I'm here.
Doc. Hey, Doc.
Hi, Doc.
Would it be happening, kids?
Oh, just talking about fire.
Fire.
Smoke, fire.
Fire. Hey, when I was in summer camp, there was this counselor who was entertaining the kids by blowing, you know that thing that Kiss does? He puts I don't know what he uses, but he blows this big fire ball. Well, the counselor was doing that, and everyone was like, wow, look at, and all of a sudden, the wind came, blew it all right back in his face, and the guy had hair down to his lower back. He had such long hair. All his hair went up in flame, and he ran out, and they were pushing his face in the dirt and rubbing his face in the dirt. It was like, holy shit.
Man, that must have hurt.
The guy burned up.
Well, you know, that goes to show, if you light a fire for a man, you warm him for a night. Set a man on fire, you warm him for the rest of his life.
Which is probably pretty short.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as I said, generally on this night of the year, as well as letting off fireworks, we tend to burn the effigy of Guy Fawkes. It's a tradition in here on bonfires. So, except this one. I think I'm trying to remember. I think it's Lewes, which I think it's in Sussex somewhere, where they, for some reason, they burn an effigy of the Pope every year. Which it's all a bit. We got a bit of a weird culture here, really, when we think about it.
Yeah. We have a little town nearby. They have like an Alpenfest or whatever they call it, and they have a tradition of burning the boog. You put your wishes or something like that in this big old 20-foot tall barrel looking man that's made out of wood and paper, and then at the end of the festival they just burn it, and everybody has pancakes. It's weird, more wishful thinking stuff, but it's fun.
And then everybody has pancakes.
Well, I actually had a fire in my pants, if you can believe that.
Well, I believe it. I'm with you.
Well, I'll tell you how it happened. I don't know. I can tell you how it happened, but I don't know how it happened. Does that make any sense?
Were you drunk?
No. I had found a bunch of matchbooks. Maybe 7 or 8 matchbooks, and they were full of matches, and I took them and I put them in my pocket, right? And somehow they lit. I don't know how. And it burned a hole right through my pocket, and it burned my leg. I don't know how they caught on fire though. But I'm thinking maybe the sulfur part of the match was exposed, and it rubbed on. It was rubbing as I walked, and it just ignited.
Yeah, rubbing.
That's what I was going to suggest.
And it just ignited from friction, But it was really strange.
It's funny how I was explaining the story as a warning, and the rest of you guys are like, "Yeah, let's do it." That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I have kind of a similar story. Ish. When I was about, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old, I was over to a friend's house playing around with a couple friends, and couple of these, I don't know, I think they were high school or college age guys drove by and they're like, "Hey kids, have one of these," and threw a matchbook on the sidewalk and drove off for reals. And and my stupid ass, I picked it up. I go, "I know just what to do with this." And I lit the entire. It was it was a fold over book of matches, right? And I lit the entire thing, and I lit my fingertips on fire on one of my hands, and it like seriously burned like little candles, and like turned my fingerprints black, and I screamed and cussed. And my friend's dad was a preacher, and he came running out of the house and dragged me in and put my fingers underwater, and I was screaming and cussing and crying, and it was pretty weird, man.
But your hand's okay, right?
Oh yeah, I was fine. It just a little carbon on them,
Wow.
But it was still pretty weird. A bunch of like high school, college age kids, just see kids playing, and we'll just cruise on by and give them a book of matches. That'll be fun.
Yeah, what's the idea there?
The 80s were very strange in Iowa, let me tell you.
The 80s in Iowa.
Let's be honest, there's a reason Slipknot come from Iowa, isn't there? Let's be honest.
I think so, yeah. And they're aptly named.
Yeah.
Got a good dog there.
Got anything more on fire, or sorry?
Nobody's on fire.
I have a story, but it's a little bit too long for this, so let's kind of move on, I guess.
Spin!
Yeah.
My wish came true.
Yeah.
Awful website. Sorry.
Wish awful website.
Yeah.
I agree.
What is it? What's it about?
It's kind of like a crap version of Amazon.
Oh.
Yeah, they send you really bad products.
Hey, this one is from Wish.
Sure.
I mean, you can get good stuff on there, but a lot of sometimes it's you got to really look into the sellers on that site.
Yeah.
I've never been there, so I don't even know. What's Doorknobhead doing?
Kissing the dog.
He's making wishes.
Yeah. What does Octavian wish? Food?
No, always.
Treats?
Yeah, in about an hour he will.
I don't wish.
I wish for infinite wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish wishes didn't come true, because that would break the law of physics. That would mess us all up.
It's all, isn't it? Wishes. It's like gambling, right? It's. Isn't it like gambling?
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know how. I don't know how many of you seen the old Peter Cook and Dudley Moore film Bedazzled at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean the original, not the horrible Brendan Fraser remake thing, but the where he's got 7 wishes, but the point being is that the wishes kind of get ruined each time. It's quite humorous. I take on that. I think if you had so many wishes, what would you do with it? If anything, we learned from that film, though, that the devil is not named Satan or Lucifer. The devil was named George Spigot.
I always
Wow.
suspected.
Yeah.
Well, in D&D, if we find you find a lamp and you rub it and the genie comes out and he gives you wishes, everyone always wishes for more wishes, right?
Mm.
But is there a way to get around that as a dungeon master?
Well, seeing as you guys know that I was, because a couple of you were there, that I only got introduced to D&D the other night, as that was my first time ever playing. I really am no for what the person's asked. This is where we need ring, really.
Yeah, that's a question for Ring about wishes and
Well, I
wishing.
do have a suggestion for DMs. A DM can always say, when you wish for more wishes, the divine feedback disintegrates your character.
Wow. Or maybe it cancels out the wishes, or I don't know. That's a good question. I'd have to ask Ring about that.
Yeah, there's generally, I think the guides they talk about that. There's some way to get that, like the DM guide. They talk, was it Dungeon Master's guide, DM guide?
Mhm.
Yeah.
They talk about how to get past that. I thought.
I forget what it was, but generally something happens if you wish for more wishes. Something not so good happens usually.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, like cursed wish or something, or you only have so many charges or something,
Something like that. I'm not sure.
or you got to regenerate their power to do wishes or something, or do whatever you want. It's just a game. You're making it up anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good question. I got to ask One Ring about that.
I'm pretty sure that in the original.
Sometimes there's. Sorry.
No, go on, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, sometimes there's an experience point cost, like when you're crafting artifacts or scrolls or things. You actually lose some of your experience points, so you advance slower. So there could be something as drastic as a negative level for casting a wish.
I mean, I was going to say that I'm pretty sure in the old mythology, the genies or the jinn did not grant wishes, and that's like a modern trope on the whole thing, you know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was Aladdin that
Yeah.
started that.
Yeah, it's specific to Aladdin, pretty much.
I Dream of Genie. Don't forget I Dream of Genie. Pete's thing.
Yeah, she's quite a dish.
He was for a long time. Wow.
There is always the be careful what you wish for concept. So you can let your characters do their wishes, and then you get to interpret them as the DM.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh, you wished for world peace, and then all the people are disappeared from the planet.
Or you do it like the Simpsons when they Lisa wished for world peace and then the aliens invaded. we weren't prepared.
Yeah.
Alien.
Yeah, it comes from somewhere, right? It just it has to come from somewhere.
Yeah. Or it's gonna have consequences throughout reality that ripple outward.
Well, that was almost in a certain way like the theme of that whole that film I was mentioning, Bedazzled, the whole careful what you wish for kind of thing, you know.
Sure.
Spin?
Gonna hide that choice. Spinning.
Okay, someone start rapping or whatever it is. Colors.
Favorite?
Purple.
What Amiga says for 200.
Mine's red. Mine's red. In case anyone hasn't guessed from my background.
Red.
That I was just covered all the blood stains.
Yeah.
I always just assumed that.
Isn't that why the Romans wore red?
Royal red.
Well, yeah. I mean, so I'm not entirely sure that they always did wear red. You know.
Purple.
Purple.
Well, purple.
White.
Purple was a sort of a royal color. I think.
White.
You know, that's
Yeah, they say it
often,
did.
often associated with royalty.
Exactly. Yeah.
The Max Caesar. Say his name 3 times, and you'll summon purple.
Uh-oh.
And apparently, it rhymes with orange.
Apparently, yeah. Anyone colorblind?
And yes, Spooky. I will take up the case here for Blighty here about the word color. There should be a U in there somewhere.
That's the American spelling.
Also known as the incorrect spelling.
Yes.
More efficient.
Not as fun. Oh, and I am, to answer your question, Sam, I am black and white colorblind.
Black and white. How does that happen?
Well,
I'm just being silly.
I'll say
I thought
I'll just say this as I made the joke yesterday, but depending on the absolute clusterfuck result of this absolute clusterfuck of an election you've got going on over there at the moment.
Indeed.
It may be the case that we, the British, may have to dust off the red coats, get the muskets ready, come on over there, and the colonies will get independence again. When you're able to govern yourselves responsibly, and 2, when you learn to put use in certain words like colour and honour. So then we'll go home.
Yeah, just come over, start things up a little, and then split.
Yeah, just it's just all we're saying is we're not entirely sure if you're ready for independence yet. Is all we're saying.
Would you like to see Britannia rule again, my friend?
What would they do with us?
All you need to do is follow the worms.
Pink Floyd, baby.
That's right, man. My favorite band.
The way we see it is that we have the way we see it is we do have backdated taxes on tea duty going back to 1776, but other than that, we'll be pretty reasonable.
Wait, with interest?
We'll be reasonable. We'll just keep it at a normal rate. We're not going to be total.
How many years is that? More than 200, that's for sure.
So it's about 244 years. So
that's compounded daily.
So that's our 3 things. One, you learn to govern yourself responsibly. 2, you learn to put use in the words like colour and honour. And 3, you owe us 244 years of backdated tea tax. So, but other than that, we're cool.
What about we have to get away from the imperial measurement system. So that's another thing too.
Yeah, we're kind of half and half on that because most of our things are in but distances like miles and that we still work in imperial on on things like miles and stuff. So.
Oh, you do that? I didn't know that.
Well, all our road systems are done in miles in the UK, where pretty much everywhere else in Europe it's done in kilometers.
Kilometers.
Yeah.
also we drive on the other side of the road to just about everywhere else in the world, I think, near enough. But
Drive on the wrong side of the road.
No, that's not the wrong side. That's the side you drive on. That's the side you drive on. That's not wrong. And it's not right.
I'll tell you a quick story then about that as we went on to that. Last time I went to America, I mean, it was about 2002, and there's this one young lad. I went out there for a whole bunch of
Boy Scout?
it's about 10. There's about 10 British lads, and we had two Irish guys with us as well. And we met this young lad in Kentucky. He must be he's about 20, 22. He'd just come out of the army or something. But he was saying to the two Irish guys about he was saying he had some Irish ancestry or whatever. And then he started to ask them about like the whole troubles in between Northern Ireland and the Republic with Catholics and Protestants, which is like obviously a rabbit hole you don't really want to go into. But the two Irish guys handled him so well. He said, "Oh well, what we did now, we sorted that all by segregating people." He said, "Now in Ireland, the Catholics drive on the left-hand side of the road and the Protestants drive on the right." and he believed them.
He believed that, huh?
He believed them.
How would you get anywhere if that
Well, if
was
they
the
were
case?
segregated, then you could do that.
Well, let's just put it this way. I said this was Kentucky. Are you starting to see why Mitch McConnell keeps getting re-elected?
That fucker.
Damn. No, that's pretty bad. That's called being gullible. That's like my sister. My sister, she's a theist, and she'll believe anything I tell her. Anything I make things up, and she'll believe them. And she'll believe it. She was looking to get she was shopping to find a hat for something, and I told her, go to Hats R Us. And she went, "Oh yeah, I'll go to Hats R Us." Like there was actually a Hats R Us store.
Yeah, I have a little sister who's pretty darn gullible too.
So I don't know. She's older than me. I'm the baby in the family.
Just the baby.
I'm the baby.
Pick the baby.
I'm the youngest of my siblings as well, and my mother still. I'm 46 years old, and my mother still calls me her baby. I prefer the term veteran child.
Veteran child.
I'm the youngest of five.
Ooh.
I'm the youngest of 3.
I'm the youngest of 2.
There's a theme here.
Whoa.
Oh
my God! It's a countdown.
I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest of 2. But it's a bit weird because my sister, same father, different mothers. So some people in the community know already, but unfortunately, my sister passed away a few weeks ago. So. But a lot of people know. I mean, I was public about it, but yeah. Well, it was expected. We'll put it that way. It was expected, but
it's never good though.
No,
I'm so sorry, my man.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, thanks too much, but yeah, it's over the worst of all that now. So. Yeah. Should we have another spin?
Neighbors.
Oh.
Neighbors?
Otherwise known as evil.
I'd say most of my neighbors are great, except we've got one in sort of proximity that we hear very, very regularly having domestics. So, but Yeah.
My
I
closest
have the
neighbor is about
neighbors.
a quarter mile away, and it's great.
Right. I'll say, neighbours. Let's
Right.
just clarify. Let's just clarify. We're not talking about the really, really bad Australian soap opera here.
Nope, we're not.
Good.
I have no knowledge of that.
I'm pretty sure it was something Australia invented strictly to send over to the UK as some sort of revenge.
Really? Oh man,
Yeah.
what's that about? I don't know. I don't know any of my neighbors. I don't know who they are, what they do, what their names are. I don't know any of them.
Oh,
What
okay.
is going on?
Someone wants attention.
That's what cuteness sounds like.
Yeah. Love me. Love me now. Love me now. Do it.
I know this. The neighbors. I know when they're having
Having fight, having lovey
having
time.
having
Adult
what is that
time.
called? Sexy time. It's like because I can hear them. If I get outside to have a cigarette, if they're doing the horizontal mambo, I hear them. I'm like, what's that noise? Oh, they're fucking again.
You need to get you a good set of drumsticks or whatever you think will work acoustically on your wall, and just start drumming out tunes right there on the wall
The
while
house
they're
is,
going at it.
it's all private houses here. It's unattached.
Apparently not private enough.
No, but see, that's during the day. At night, all I have to do is look at the window and I can see the shadows on the window of them doing it. That's like, God, the light, they must have a light like right near the bed that shines right on them and then projects the shadow onto the window. It's like,
Sounds like what, like squeaky toys?
the neighbors, I tell you.
Me
Sound
and
like
my
goats?
shadow
little thing.
making baby shadows.
Oh, tight.
The neighbors called the cops on me. I couldn't get. I went out on my bicycle and I left the house, and I was coming home. I came home and I tried to get in through the garage, right? And I'm pressing the number pad, and the garage door is not opening. And I'm like standing there. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So I just keep trying the number and trying it over and over again. I figured, let me call. I'll call, my housemate. I call him. I can't get a hold of him. So I'm standing there. I'm pushing the buttons and pushing the buttons. And I'm pushing the right buttons. It's just not working for some reason. So next thing I hear, whoop, whoop. And look, there's the cops. I was like, what the heck? What are they doing? And I'm like, I wave. I go, hi. And they come out, and then they says, what's going on? We've got called someone's, suspicious person outside the house. I'm like, well, I'm trying to get in. I live here. I'm trying to get in. I've been pushing the buttons, but the door's not opening. And the guy said, the policeman says, what's the number? And I told him the number. He went up and pressed it, and the door opened right up. I says, I've been standing here nearly a half an hour waiting for the door to open, and it wouldn't open.
Honest officer, I'm not as think as you drunk I am.
But the neighbors called the police. Who knew? But he opened the door. He got the door open for me. I went, oh, great, the door. How did you do that? What did you do? I must have been punching in the wrong number. Who knew?
At least it wasn't right. At least it was the right house. I thought the end of the story was going to be it was the wrong house.
Well, that would be easy to do here in Arizona because everything is sort of the same. All the houses are the same. The streets are the same. It's like everything looks the same everywhere. It's like, but yeah. I'll be right back, okay?
Number 1 or number 2?
Well, hey, gang, I think I'm going to cut out.
He's got to take a Riley.
Hey, do you want me to spin?
Rachel Riley.
Spin on.
I'll spin.
Linda knows what I'm talking about when I say that.
Road trip.
Road trip. There he goes. He's taking a road trip. Let's talk about eoSam now. He's gone.
All right, gang, I'm going to wrap this up from my end of things.
Okay.
I do have things to do. Go to my channel, all that, make a silly comment, whatever. You got a story from the road, you met a musician or a famous person, or you're a musician yourself, any of that kind of stuff, just give me an email, randallmagley@gmail.com, and I'll read it on my channel. Also, catch the 16th of November. I'll be on with Neil the 604 Atheist doing my Deacon version, and that's pretty much all I got. You know, I'm glad I was on here today. Got to have fun with y'all.
Yeah, glad to see you.
Have you?
Thanks for the camaraderie.
Thanks for not making people mad at the library.
Yeah, I
Don't want
might
any
have
library
to go.
drama.
Yeah, the last time I was here, I heard, "Hey, don't touch those." You know, and then I had to put the butterscotch back. So this noisiness and stuff might not be making them too happy. That's okay. They're okay with me. So, all right, guys, you have a good day. Everybody in the chat that I can't see, you have a good day too. Bye.
No harmonica. Road trip.
There's a monster coming down.
Everybody's taking a road trip.
Road trip.
Puppy wants to take a road trip.
Mm. Puppy wants to.
I have sorry.
Linda took a road trip.
No.
I have a road trip story, or you could call it a road trip story, I guess. It was one of the. It was the second time I experienced rudimentary virtual reality before there was virtual reality, right? So in high school and college with the art club, we would take an annual trip to the Chicago Art Institute, and we took a charter bus. And one year, the bus they hired had TV monitors and a VCR. Yeah, it was a minute ago, and and so they grabbed some movies for us to watch on this. It's like a, I don't know, 4 or 5 hour trip, and one of the movies we watched and what I watched for the first time was Speed on a Bus.
Speed on a Bus.
That movie was on a bus.
Indeed.
That's like showing one of the airport movies on a plane, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Snakes on a plane. Wasn't that movie? That was a movie, right? Snakes on a plane?
Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson.
But that was the name of the movie. Was that the name?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh. I didn't see it.
It actually is surprisingly a pretty good movie.
No kidding. All right, I got to see it then.
I thought it was anyway.
Were any snakes harmed in the making of that movie?
Say again?
Supposedly not.
Okay.
What happened? I missed that one.
What?
He
What?
asked if there were any snakes harmed in the making of that movie.
Oh.
Aw.
Only CGI snakes.
Yeah.
I believe some of them were, at least.
We once took a road trip to Laughlin, Nevada, slept on a beach by the river, and somehow we went to like there's got like riverboat gambling places, and I remember, and we were kind of drunk, and so there's like outside levels to it, and somehow we, instead of going upstairs to go to the next level, we climbed on outside of the building to go to the next level. I don't know how that happened, but that happened.
So you didn't take the stairs, you climbed on the outside of the building?
Yeah, kind of like you think of a riverboat. It's got the different decks to it. We just climbed up on the outside. Had nice, pretty trellises and stuff on the outside.
I see. Yeah.
I doubt we were the first one. Probably just the last one. But.
I just say, I mean, I hadn't done like, I mean, I couldn't really necessarily call a lot of the stuff I did on the motorcycle like proper road trips. Like, I mean, I do the thing where I've gone a long ride and we might stay in the campsite or something overnight and then come back home the next day. But if we are going to include like buses and coach kind of journeys or whatever, I did that to Italy back in 2002. Quite interesting. So I should get technically, if you want to include the Vatican and San Marino, it was like six countries in like 5 days. So England, France, Switzerland, Italy, and the other two I just mentioned. But I do remember coming back through Switzerland, and the main route through the country, the San Gotthard Pass, there was an avalanche, which meant we had to take a diversion. What we didn't know about Switzerland is taking a diversion means going halfway around the country in there. There's not many major roads going through that country. So if you get sent on a diversion, it suddenly adds, let's just say it suddenly added 6 or 7 hours to our journey.
Wow.
So, and yeah, because then we go through this other, the San Bernardino Pass, and then all the traffic through the entire country was going there, so it was traffic jams the majority of the way. It was
So that was on a bus?
Yeah, or a coach, yeah. So
coach.
Yeah.
But
But
that's a lot. That's a lot.
basically, yeah, it's that was a long old day because we started off somewhere just outside Milan, and then went up. Yeah, then I spent this massive detour around Switzerland, and we ended up Nancy in France. And we were supposed to get there about 5 o'clock in the evening. We got there like it was almost midnight when we got there.
Oh, but that took all day then, right? That was like an all day affair.
Oh yeah. It was close to 20 hours on the coach. It was because so taking a dive. I mean, we almost dipped into Liechtenstein. That was how close. That was how much of a diversion it was. Rather than going through the center of the country, we had to go all the way via Zurich and stuff up, and then into Basel, and then and out to Nancy in France. So that was quite interesting though. I mean, I suppose got to see some quite amazing mountain scenery in Switzerland through the Alps.
I haven't been on any road trips really. One road trip, but it wasn't. We just went driving up the east coast of New York, and I think we ended up in New Hampshire. I'm not sure exactly where we were, but that's the only road trip. Well, there was a second road trip where we went we went to an amusement park, and we were finished with the amusement park, and we got in the truck, my friend's truck, and it wouldn't start. And he looked down at the oil pan and the little nut that's supposed to, when if you want to change your oil, you undo the little nut and the oil goes into the pan, and then you put the nut back and you replace the oil. But the guys who did the oil job on his car that day before didn't put that nut back.
Oh dear.
So the truck wouldn't start, and here we are in the parking lot of this amusement park. The truck was like seized. It seized up because once he parked it from driving with no oil for so long, and then we went and did our thing at the park and came back to the car, the whole engine just turned into a big mass of molten metal. It was just
That's nuts.
Can I just answer something in the chat? Actually, Robert X said, he says, what happened to? He said, obviously someone mentioned New Hampshire. What happened to Old Hampshire? I live in the old original Hampshire. Okay. Just
What
so you
happened to
know.
it? What happened?
Everything here.
What
Everything
happened to
is
it?
new. Everything is
Yeah.
new here on the East Coast.
You probably look at the names of some towns in New Hampshire. You'll see they've got same. You see they've got the same names as some towns in our county in England. I think there's a Winchester, there's an Alton, there's a Southampton. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of names that were taken. Well, they were originally named by the English, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Even England is new on the East Coast.
New England.
Yep.
One last spin and then wrap it up.
All right.
Okay. Let's see what we get.
Okay.
Games.
This takes in a lot of. This takes in an awful lot of potential here. We can talk video games. We can talk board games.
Drinking
all
games.
sorts of things. Drinking games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I will, before we quickly go on to this, I meant to mention this on the last one. I didn't quite get there. I actually tried to say to a couple of American friends or whatever, if I ever come to America, I do want to do a road trip to Dinosaur Adventureland. I don't know why. I just want to do that.
Yeah, but he charges admission.
There is that issue, yeah.
It's not free.
Hmm.
And then you have to put up with Ken Hovine's bullshit.
But it's dinosaurs. You can ride the dinosaurs.
Oh man.
You could have. I don't know. I could just. I'd pay to troll him. I would pay to troll the man.
Jeff, we'll break in.
Anyway,
I think it's a
games.
good idea, Jeff.
We'll break in. We won't pay the admission.
Yeah.
We'll dress up like cavemen or something.
Yeah, right.
That'd be an adventure.
You'd fit right in.
Cavemen with cowboy hats and 6-shooters.
Oh yeah, those were in the Bible, aren't they?
Yeah, well, there's a saddle on the Triceratops.
Yeah.
There is.
I know.
Don't play games with me, mortal.
What's that game where it's like a guy laying on a operating table and you have this pair of tweezers and you have
Operation.
Operation.
Yes, that's the game.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
I mean, to be honest, we touched on this earlier because obviously, like I said, like as I said earlier, like the other day, Sam and Lindsay were on there. I'm a 40-year-old man that got to play D&D for the first time in my life. So, but But as I said, I did quite like war games back in the day. You know, tabletop war games. I did like them back in that day. Unfortunately, I can't sort of find many people that like playing the sort of ones I like to play, which is historical. Everyone seems to be in like Warhammer or like, you know, the sci-fi or fantasy ones. So
yeah, that's very, very popular. Very popular. That's the Warhammer kind of stuff.
Yeah, but
I've played all those tabletop games. So I've been doing it since like the early 70s. I've been playing D&D and war games and all kinds of stuff like that. So
but yeah, I preferred the historical ones rather than like fantasy and sci-fi ones, but that's just me.
well, I played a game. It was what was it called? It's like a wargaming thing. I forget.
Risk?
No, it's like armies. That you just battle armies. I forget what it's called, but it's a computer game.
Total War?
Total War, yeah, Total War. The first one.
See, I remember when I had the PlayStation 2 that I actually got the game Great Battles of Rome, which I had a lot of fun with that. I know in certain respects I found it was a little too easy, but it was at times. But once you figured out how to play it, but it was kind of good whilst you were figuring it out.
That was an Xbox game?
That was a PlayStation 2 game back in the day.
PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
I still have my Xbox, original Xbox, and the PlayStation 2. I have a setup over here that I play all my games on. That I have a TV and an Xbox.
I don't have the machine anymore, but I've still got all my Sega Mega Drive games, which I believe was called a Genesis in America, wasn't it? The Mega Drive.
Yeah, it's called a Genesis Sega. Yep.
And television, that was a fun one.
In television, that was one of the first here in the U.S.
Sea Battle, I remember that, and there's that Frog Bog one. You also remember?
Sorry.
About Linda, what kind of games has Linda played, and how do you pronounce them?
I remember Command & Conquer. Yeah,
I watch that all the time.
By Morton.
Morton.
There.
Yeah. Well, I still haven't really figured out D&D but to be honest, if Ring hadn't helped me out with building a character for that, I would have been so lost. I mean, I kind of was at the beginning of that whole thing anyway, but I suppose towards the end of it, I was kind of getting into I'm sort of getting the idea of this now, but
I think you did well for your first time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think I got some lucky rolls though as well. So I didn't get killed, so that was always a good start.
Yeah, that's a good start. Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's just kind of like telling a story. I remember in Boy Scouts, we just someone would have a bag of dice, and you kind of tell a story, and then every once in a while you roll a dice to determine what happens, and everybody takes a turn, and kind of like telling stories.
I mean, I do like the idea of like tabletop role play because it is you're only I mean, in a lot of ways, there are obviously there's rules, but you're really limited by your imagination in that, I suppose, in a way. And that from what I could gather of it, that the point of the game wasn't necessarily to to win or to play against people. The point of the game was to try and have an interesting story. Which so that was a bit of an interest. So that was an interesting concept to me. To be for the first time doing anything like that. So I just found that rather interesting.
Well, that's part of the whole deal, is having a story that's consistent. A good DM can do that. So, and I think One Ring pulls it off pretty well with what he's been doing with us. So yeah. Because a lot of it hinges on what the Dungeon Master gives us to work with, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's about the only thing I knew about Dungeons and Dragons going in, that the Dungeon Master is kind of, I suppose, for lack of a better term, the referee. That's about all I knew about the game going in. Yeah,
pretty much.
Some games refer to the Dungeon Master as the referee. Like in Marvel Superheroes.
Yeah.
And pretty much the Game Master every player plays their own character, but the Game Master plays everybody else. All of the non-player characters.
Exactly.
It can be a daunting role, but it can also be extremely fun if you're versatile.
Sure.
I guess the thing with any kind of game in any medium, I suppose I don't know, it's kind of what you get out of it. I mean, like, whether it be video games or board games or whatever, it's I mean, I probably what I should be doing a bit more often online is play a bit more chess, because I do enjoy playing chess. I probably ought to do that online a bit more. So
I used to play a lot of chess. I haven't played chess in a long time.
Neither have I, and it's strange because I enjoy playing it. It's a great game. Once you sort of learn, once you learn the basics of chess, it's a really good game. But I've got to say, the one game I've never gotten my head around is the Chinese game Go. I've never gotten my head around that game, though.
Oh, forget it. Yeah, me neither. I'm the same. But there's a chess move. It's called en passant. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it, but I don't exactly know. Yeah, you're not talking to a grandmaster here. Let's just put it that way. It's just something I enjoy playing. I don't necessarily say I'm any good at it, but
it's a third pawn. If you move the third pawn out, force 2 spaces, and then you move them another space, the opponent's pawn can pass you on the diagonal, and they say en passant, and then they just take your pawn. So you have to look that up, because people you can set people up in traps with that. But yeah, look that up, en passant. I don't know how it's spelled, but
you just like to say it.
I mean, I've never, like I said, chess is.
Yeah, Robert
X
put it in the chat.
Yeah, chess is very, like, I mean, in terms of, like, say, a military strategy sort of game, chess is very much a attrition based kind of game, whereas I think like Go is more about trying to hold as much of much territory on the board with the least amount of counters. But I've never really got my head around how to play Go.
That's the one where you turn.
It's really difficult.
Where it's like black and white on both sides.
That's correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a bit. Yeah, I've never quite got my head around. But I mean, it's like an old. I think it's an old English game. It might have different origins. I don't know, but Taffle's quite an interesting game like that as well.
What's the name?
Taffle. It's kind of a precursor to something like chess or something.
You ever see those battle chess games?
A few of them, yeah.
I think that's so silly. It's like you make the move. Okay, what are they gonna do? It's like I don't get it, but I guess it's fun.
I miss lawn darts,
Lawn darts.
the family-friendly game of natural selection.
I wonder if you could still get those.
Nope.
No, right?
Sometimes you can find them at a garage sale.
It's like who thought of that game?
Hillbillies.
One game where earning points is a very bad thing.
Yeah. But games that involve pointy objects, I'm not too crazy about that. Games.
I mean, yeah. I mean, to be honest, you ever in a pub in the UK and you know, you get someone drunk enough, even like regular darts is could be, you know, could be potentially dangerous if you got someone who's drunk enough.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just turn around and throws a dart, right?
Yeah, and I've never quite. It's something I've never quite figured out about Europe. Also, or it's mainly the UK, I will say, but it's kind of so it's like a virus that's spread out to the rest of Europe. How is it like a pub game like darts has become a professional sport? I don't get it.
I don't know. It's a sport. It's not a sport. Is it a sport?
Yeah, it's a professional sport. Yeah, darts. Yeah, it's big audiences over here, certainly.
Yeah, I don't.
Why? I don't know. And people know I'm one of the few people in this community that actually does like sport, but I do not get professional darts.
Well, it's one good reason to never have numbers tattooed to your face.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was somewhat entertaining back in the like 80s when it became a professional sport, when you had these technically professional athletes, technically speaking, in between throws would go back to their table, take a puff on their cigarette and then a sip of their pint, and then go back up to like, and I'm like, these are supposed to be professional athletes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we've been...
Have we? Wow.
One. No! 2 hours.
2
Woo,
hours.
That's 30 minutes over time.
We love you long time. 2 hours.
That guy needs to
What?
go.
What? Who's what?
That's
That
me.
guy
I get
needs to go
talking
to
too often, I
work.
think.
He's the command and conquer champion and a dog.
That's my fault. I get talking on like useless information too much, I think.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. No.
I think we're all just having a lot of fun.
I'm glad that you have. But I need to send more than enough.
You can slide out the door.
Or something.
2 minutes.
Party time.
He's going to work.
Party time.
Oh. How long does it take Morton to get to work?
Holy beans.
Oh, he's got quite a journey then.
Wow. Yeah.
Pogo stick or what? Are you driving?
Pogo stick.
Driving.
Wow.
Driving. Drive machine, yeah.
I'm 15 minutes. That's halfway across the country in Denmark, isn't it?
It's still the same island.
Does he drive the speed limit?
Yep.
What's the speed limit over there?
On yeah, what? Regular
Autobahn?
roads.
80.
That's kilometers. That's kilometers,
There's
though. Remember,
kilometers,
so
yeah.
80 kilometers.
And
So that's what 40 something miles per hour.
mm.
Yeah, that's probably like 35, 40
Yeah.
kilometers.
highway. Way.
2,000 kilometers.
It's 110 kilometers some of the way, and then
So it's about, what's that,
130.
so it's about okay, so it's about 70 miles an hour, I suppose, which is about the same as our motorways.
Yeah, we can't drive over 60. I think 65. I think it is, right?
I can't drive 55.
Is it 55? Oh, you can't drive 55
Just
personally?
Gordon wrote it in the chat.
He wrote it. 110 is 70 miles. Okay.
Yep.
You Robert.
80. No way. 80 kilometers. That's 110 miles per hour? No. 110 is 70
No,
miles.
Morton,
no.
here goes Martin. Morton sign.
110 to 70 miles an hour. Yeah.
Gordon,
Right.
Morton sighting.
ready for work?
Was that Morton I saw cross our path?
Yeah,
Mhm.
was.
At least he had his pants on.
There's a little Morton trail behind there. Morton Path.
Well, another show in the can, Linda, so to speak.
It's not on the can yet. We're still on.
That's
Well,
gotta
yeah.
hurt. Showing the can. Ow.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But I have to. Bye, goodbye, goodbye.
TTFN.
Goodbye.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
See
Good
ya.
English.
Good day.
Doggy. Thank you all.
Mm.
You're on the panel and in the chat. And I guess next Thursday, same time. Nice.
See ya.
Bye bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone.
Toodles.